Hello, welcome to another book related video here on my channel. I'm very excited about this video. I'm very excited. I feel like mainly it's because I'm trying to tackle my physical TBR. I will be posting a video about my book goals for 2024, but until then, just know that, of course, like everybody else, tackling my physical TBR is definitely one of my book goals. And I have to say, I feel like I don't have that much. I did start the year off with a lot more books, and yes, I do have two boxes. I have one downstairs in the entertainment center. I have at least two boxes packed up with physical books, but they're more so like bigger books or old books, like 1800s, 1900s. And I don't know how many there truly are, but I just know here on this bookcase, if we're just counting the Chronicles of Narnia as one book and not each individual book, I only have just under 60 books, because I'm also not counting any of the Nancy Drew or Hardy Boys, only because of the fact I have no clue where I stopped at, because I started them when I was like 8 or 10, and I don't want to take them down. I'm just not counting them, okay? I have under 60 books for my physical TBR. I had a lot more starting out the year. That's what we're talking about this video. We're not necessarily talking about my book goals this video, but we are going to be talking about the 24 books I want to read in 2024, and of course, because of that, I just wanted to preference that they're all going to be my physical books, besides a few that I have to buy. I'm sorry. There is one new release, and then a few that I'm just missing, like one book of the series. So without further ado, let's hop into the books. The first book that I could think of to put on this list was my most anticipated read. It's also like a new release. It should be out in the summer of 2024. Don't have an exact date. I'm okay with not having a date because I don't want this book rushed. It is Thrones of Wings and Ash, I do believe is the title. I don't have the book, but it's basically number 2 to Throne of Betrayal. That was my top book of 2023. Second published book, or it will be a second published book from an author that I went to school with, and I'm very excited about that book. I'm extremely excited about that book, and when that comes out, I'm dropping everything. I'm going to potentially reread Throne of Betrayal and then also read the second one, or I might just skim Throne of Betrayal. I think I'll just reread it, to be honest. It was such a great book, and it was 400 pages, but I was reading like 100 to 250 pages a day, so I ain't gonna have any problems with that. That is, of course, the first book that I will have to buy, but also I'm very much anticipating to read. Next, we have Archer's Voice. I ended up thrifting this not too many months ago. I feel like just a few months ago. I just didn't get around to it in 2023. I wanted to originally do like reading sad books for a week video, but now I don't think I'm going to be doing that video. I also kind of ran out of time because I wanted to tackle that video in 2023, and I just feel like I'm just going to spend this year just to kind of read whatever I want. I'm just going to mood read all year. How about that? I'm just going to mood read. So I am very much anticipating this, but I feel like if I want to read it, I'll read it. If I don't, I just won't. Plain and simple. I just won't. And these are all of these books. I'm saying number 2, but they're not in order. I just randomly put them down, and I was trying to make sure I had 24 books. Next, we have All the Light That We Cannot See. This also I've had for a few months. I feel like a little bit longer, and I've seen a few people starting to read this. I don't know when it got its hype, but I've seen it. I like the feeling of this book because it's a little bit thicker. I'm kind of excited to read this for whatever reason. I want to know what it actually is about. I don't want to know right now what it's about until I go into it, because I love just going blind into books. Next, we have the Chronicles of Narnia. I did start this technically. Publication number 4 or 3, and then the first actual book, The Magician's Nephew, and then The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, that I actually read, and we stopped. So 2 out of the 7 books. I stopped on The Horse and His Boy. So I've made it 200 plus pages into this book, and I have till like 700. I just kind of want to hop back to this book and definitely finish this world. For whatever reason, I just had to take a break. I think because I was in a slump, ended up picking this up, and then I got scared I was going to go back into a slump, so I kind of put it down for a little bit, and I've just been reading thrillers here lately. All right, now we have a very exciting trilogy that I definitely want to get to, and I said I wanted to get to this last year, and then I just didn't because I didn't want to have to buy the third book, even though it's like $5. Airborne by Kenneth Opel. Along with Airborne, we have Skybreaker, and then the third one is actually Star Climber, I do believe. I don't have the third one, but I want to get the third one. Like I said, it's like $5 on thrift books. I have been eyeing these books so much. I want to start these probably very soon. I'm very excited to start these. I read this a couple years ago, and if you've seen this, you already know, but I did enjoy it. I just don't remember anything about it because it was like 2019. And then I found out last year, like around June, July, that it's actually a series, trilogy. It's a Matt Kruse trilogy, and I want to get to these books and potentially buy the third one. I'm very excited to get to these. Next, I want to read Flock and the rest of the series. I do believe this is just a trilogy, and I actually found this on the YA shelf in a thrift store, and then I seen a TikTok, not spoiling it, but I can tell you right now, this should not have been on the YA shelf. I thought it was YA. It kind of looks YA. I think I'm going to be in a ride when I actually read this book. I've kind of put it off, but I do want to read it because I don't know why, it just sounds really good, and everybody says Exodus, I do believe the second book is their favorite, and then the last book destroyed them, or Exodus destroyed them, and then the last book was good? I don't remember. But I've seen a few things. I've been having to skip a few things because I do not want spoilers, but I do want to read this whole series or trilogy or whatever it is. Then in October for my birthday, I got the whole Caraval trilogy. So we have Caraval Legendary Finale. I do want to read this. I've been eyeing this a lot, honestly, here recently as well, because I have the complete collection right here. So it'll be so easy to read and not have to worry about buying them. Eventually, maybe I do want to get into the Once Upon a Broken Heart if I do like Stephanie Garber's writing, and if I do like these. I feel like I'll like them because everybody that I've ever seen loves these books and loves the Broken Heart series. This is kind of high up on my TBR for 2024. Then we have the Hunger Games trilogy and also the fourth book or the prequel, whatever the actual lineup is for that other book, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I do believe. So we have Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay, and then the Ballad. I have not found the Ballad in a hardcover yet. We're $1 each, except for I think Hunger Games was $2, but these were $1 each at Desert Industries. I bought them because they were hardcover, and usually hardcovers, when they re-add on to a series or add on books that go along with the series, hardcovers are usually the same height. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes paperbacks, they have like the last one that was added to was like super tall compared to the rest of the series. So I bought these because I was like, oh, the hardback's gonna be the same size. I have not once seen the hardback. Not once. I've only ever seen that book in paperback, and I guess I could order it online. I probably will have to order it online. But I'm excited. I want to read these for the first time ever and also watch the movies. I have watched the movies before. I have not watched the last one, but I've watched, I do believe, Mockingjay as well. So at least I've watched these 3 movies, and I kind of just want to read them and then do like a little watching the movies marathon maybe, and then kind of compare and contrast and maybe make this a whole reading vlog. Just view my thoughts on these. I'm very excited about these because a lot of people say that they love the Hunger Games trilogy, and of course they love the new one and they love the new movie. So I want to know what the hype is. I've been avoiding spoilers for so many months now. Then we have Girl in Pieces. I thrifted this, that's why there's no dust jacket. I wanted to kind of try and figure out what 24 books I had here that I was really kind of intrigued about, and this one, for whatever reason, I've heard really great things about. So I just kind of want to see what it's about and see if I enjoy it, and also see if I want to keep it on my shelf. Then we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Last month in December, I ended up like soft DNFing it. It is a book that I definitely want to read in 2024. I just was in a slump. It was taking like 3 weeks to read like 60 pages. I was loving it though. I just did not feel like reading it, to be honest. I didn't feel like reading in general. Let me make that clear. I just didn't feel like reading in general. So I want to get back to this book because what I remember from this book that I read, I feel like there was so many good like timelines, because I do believe it's like the 1700s of France, and then you go to, I think it was 2014 in New York. And so you're just switching back and forth, and I was enjoying this book so much, but it just wasn't keeping me because I was in a slump, if that makes sense. So I made this a like soft DNF, or I kind of DNF'd it, but I'm just gonna pick it up in 2024, and I'm very excited to get to it. All right, now we have 4 other books that I recently just picked up, completed the whole entire series, and because it's a whole entire series, that is why I want to read this. I think this is called the Castor series, I can't remember, but basically we have Beautiful Creations, Beautiful Darkness, Beautiful Chaos, and Beautiful Redemption. And eyeing these a few times, and I just kind of want to see what they're about, because in the beginning I thought I knew what they were about because I thought I'd seen them on other people's channels, and then I realized I had no clue what I was talking about. I have never really seen these books, but for whatever reason they still seem familiar, and I'm just kind of excited to actually read these. Then we have a long series that I'm missing the last book that just recently came out a few months ago. It might have been like half a year now. This is a potential read. This is one that I was excited to collect and read, and then I started not caring about it because I got other books that I got more hyped up. But I am reading The Girl on the Train, and I thought originally that The Girl on the Train went with this series, and I'm loving The Girl on the Train. So I want to give this series a shot, especially the first book. We have The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And then because of this, we're going to continue the series with The Girl Who Played with Fire, The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest, The Girl in the Spider's Web, The Girl Who Takes an Eye for an Eye, and then the last one I own is The Girl Who Lived Twice. I'm missing, I think it's purple and blue. It's like a talon, I do believe, or The Girl and the Eagle's Talon or something like that. I'll post a photo up here. I'm missing that one, and I will eventually get that one if I like the series. I think for once I'm not going to finish the whole entire series. I think I'm just going to read all the books that I have so far, and then if I want to finish the series I will, because this is a lot of books. They've been sitting on my shelf for a very long time, and I feel like it's time. If I'm going to tackle my physical TBR, I need to tackle the ones that don't interest me as much. A few months ago I read the Renegades trilogy, and I wanted to read the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer as well. I only have 3 of the books of the series. I only have Wintercrest and Cinder, but I think I'm only missing 2 novellas. I'm not 100% positive. I'm missing a couple books, and I will potentially, if I don't find them in thrift stores, I will potentially have to buy them. Rachel, Catherine, she is actually reading this right now, and I'm excited for her to read. I'm excited to hear her opinion on it. I'm excited to kind of see what she has to think, and then I want to go into it because I did enjoy the Renegades. It was very YA but easy to read, and it just kept me kind of entertained because I didn't have to use much brain power, and her writing wasn't bad. Like, her writing just flowed. The very last book, I'm gonna say books, that I want to read in 2024 is actually a whole universe, which in itself is like 18 books. But I just wanted to add these to the list because I don't know if I'm gonna get to the whole universe, but more so any more than the one trilogy I do own. It's Cassandra Clare and the whole Infernal Device, Mortal Instruments, and The Last Hours, that whole universe, the Shadowhunter universe, that's what it's called. And I do actually have the Infernal Devices. My mom got me these for my birthday, I think 2 years ago now, and I want to order the Mortal Instruments off Amazon in this spine collection where it has like the photo that it makes, and I'm excited to try and read that series and then try and read all of her other series. I kind of want to tackle this. I want to make this not so much a priority, but I definitely want to make it one of those if I could achieve it, that would be a great accomplishment, a great goal to achieve. But if I don't, at least I tried. I don't know if I can, but that's my goal, is I just really want to read some of her books. So why not read the whole universe? That's my thinking, at least. Those are the 24 books I want to read in 2024. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Like I said, it's all just physical TBR books that I have, minus a few that I have to buy or I want to buy. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, be sure to subscribe. Check out any other book related videos here on my channel or the book playlist that is down in my description. I hope to see you in another video here on my channel, and God bless.